Hello again, my friends, this is the Boy Needs Dog, and welcome to another episode of Ever Thoughts, where I talk about all things Evercade. Bit of a bonus one today. We will be taking a butcher's at the new firmware update and all its new features. I was meant to do this last night after work, but I kind of fell up the stairs and smashed my neck into the wall and affected my arm and shoulder. I don't know how. I'm a bloody nightmare. There's quite a bit to get through, so make a coffee, get comfy, and let's get stuck in. So, new features. Like I said, there's a lot to talk about, and one I've been ridiculously in love with. Can you guess what it is? And oh look, Eagle Eyes can see the next two videos I'm working on. One of them is basically finished in on Monday, so look forward to that. The other, I'm about halfway through. Right, first, we're going to go down to settings and choose display, and then all the way down again to near the bottom, beyond Tay on toast mode, to intro video. And you can choose between modern or classic to go back to the original startup screen. So I'm going to choose that. Pretty awesome. Right, and next we're going to go down to system. At the very bottom of that list is customized light bar. Oh, the fun I had. Now I've settled on purple to honour Death Stranding that I'm playing at the moment on the other channel, because I customised all my shit purple in that. It's a thing. Respect the thing. And the next new thing we're looking at, if you head to library, which is a cool feature and great when it's updated, so you can look at upcoming releases. If we go to browse cards, we can see the remaining ones that have been revealed. Of course, we now know there is more coming beyond that as well, 3, and I thought there was only 2 for some reason, so that is awesome. Can you really moan at this year's lineup, to be honest? We've already had Indie Heroes 4, Broken Sword Collection, Tomb Raider Collection 2, Atari Arcade 2, not a bad selection so far, and still to come we have Gremlins Collection 2, which I'm quite excited about. PS1 games, my bag. Windjammers, which I don't really know much about these games, so it's all new to me. That'd be interesting. Roadcraft DX, I can't wait for that game at all. Neo Geo Arcade 1, the 2 Taito collections, and the 2nd and 3rd Neo Geo Arcade collections. I like that you can click on them here, and normal about releases even on each game as well within. So reading up on Roadcraft DX, it does sound mostly like a hugely jazzed up version of Rogue 64, which I'm kind of in love with, I will not lie. Right, next up to the VSXP or Alpha option, depending on the system, for a wonderful highlight of the month. It's Alligator Hunt. I adore this game. Easily one of my favourite arcade games on the Evercade, and it's so much fun on the Alpha too. It's sort of like a light gun game. Wish we had the mouse for it, actually, thinking about it. But the audio and music, the visuals, the small details, the animations, destructible environments, the way it changes things up, like being on a skateboard at the start, then flying off into the sky, sections through cool 3D like tunnels, sections in space, single screen sections and scrolling sections. If you haven't got the Gelco Arcade 1 collection, this patch is so worth it just to play this absolute delight. It would be cool if they patched us to use the mouse, as I've said. Honestly, that would be an added bonus. It just seems perfect as well, especially as it's the game of the month. And if you enjoyed the game, honestly, the whole cart is awesome. Buy it, in fact, buy both Gallico carts, especially if you have an Alpha. The rally games are pure joy, just pure joy.
Base to site. Orders for you. Stop the floor and tell me what's up.
First, destroy their computer center. Then, crash their military base. Endure combat with mutant brains. Good luck, pilot.
Okay, Connie, I'm done with march then.
Right, now straight underneath Alligator Hunt is the hidden game section. Remember, the number is higher if you have a VS. If you go to the bottom, there are 2 question marks. Now, if you come back out, below this was another option that said free games if you sign up to a newsletter. If you click and then click that you've already signed up, or use the square scan MacGuffin to sign up, then the option disappears. You'll get sent a newsletter with a unique code you can use on 5 systems. Going to settings and going to the very bottom, secret, type in the code to unlock the first game. Now, I haven't unlocked the second. I think some people have, but I've not looked in case it's something simple I can work out. I'll probably give up in the end and look anyway. So after entering the code, you get a message fire up that you have used it 0 of 5 times. It calls it the 5th anniversary bonus game, which is kind of cool. You click on that and update to 1 of 5 users. Now go back to hidden games and the new game will appear, and it is the Sword of Stone. Now, I've played it for about 20 minutes and I really enjoyed myself. In that time, I chose from 1 of 3 people, each with their origins, objectives and special abilities. I chose Leaf. I got given a magical map from a character I talked to, which was really helpful and slowly fills as you explore. And I learned I could attack walls, so avoided other enemies. What was cool was it was a point and click system, but the actions were all story based. If you click attack, it tells you what happened, like a passage in a book. I really like this. After a bit of exploring and talking to a few people, you can look and it gives you a description. I managed to add 2 more party members to my team. And the first member we get is a girl with a lock-picking ability who can unlock doors, which actually led me to a second character who can also join the party, a retired knight who are now getting the ability to fight a knight earlier who was blocking a route. I don't think I'll probably show it in the footage here because I'm trying to condense it a bit. Anyway, I enjoyed it so much so far. A stoner game for sure, but I need to move on as there's still more to talk about. But I'll leave you with a bit more footage. The next thing is mouse support. More games are now mouse compatible. This firmware update makes more games compatible with the mouse controller, including a Centipede, Crystal Cuttles, a Millipede and Super Breakout from the Atari Arcade 1, plus one of the hidden games using the mouse to simulate trackball or paddle controls. Also added mouse support to a couple of additional console games. You can use mouse as a light gun in Alien Brigade from Atari Collection 1 and use mouse in Utopia from Gremlin Collection 1. I of course had to go at all of them, as you can see in the footage while I've been talking. First up with Atari Arcade 1 is Centipede. It took a bit of practice to be sure, but I think I'm getting the hang, and I think the game plays really well. Easier maybe, or do I prefer it to the Alpha joystick? Not sure, probably the D-pad though. And next is Crystal Castle. Wow, this one is bonkers. You can definitely tell this game was built for a trackball. It's easier to move around, but I can't yet get the hang of jumping over things. This is followed by Millipede, and pretty much the same as Centipede. I really enjoyed it. Will I now play them mostly with this? I don't know. There's safety and familiarity with the D-pad, but I think it's better with the mouse. And when I master it, I don't think I'll come back to the D-pad as much if I'm on the VS. The alpha is another matter entirely though. And next up is Super Breakout. Now this was the interesting one. Could I finally play this game where I found it so hard before? Yes. I'm still crap, let's be honest. But the bat's too short to judge it when it's fast. I think with a bit of practice though, I might get quite good at this now. Hurrah! And then we have Alien Brigade. I love using mouse for a light gun game if a light gun isn't available. Normally so much better than a D-pad, implemented well, and I can say it was great. Yeah, a tiny bit jerky, but I never knew if that is just because of my setup, as I have no table, just a massive book on my lap to rest the mouse on. But I was playing much better. I mean, I'm not too bad at this one anyway. I do love these types of games. And then we have Utopia. Unsurprisingly, this is the best way to play a chill game like this. There was no surprises here. It's smooth enough. You can get to everything easier and slightly quicker. Now the other game they mentioned was a hidden game, but didn't name it. I checked all the inbuilt and nothing. So it could be the 12th hidden game. Would I be wasting my time trying all the cards out? But I had an idea of the game it could have been on, and I was right. And I'm very happy. Stick the 2 Jellicoe carts in, and voila, we have Bang. And it does play absolutely great. Again, I could have played this for ages, but sadly, we've got to move on for now. Right, next, as I didn't talk about it at the time, allow me this quick diversion while you're looking at a bit more of Bang to share my thoughts on the other games already supported by the mouse. Now, Broken Sword collection, I will talk about this in my review, which is also in the works. I am getting there slowly, guys. I promise. Arcade Pull from the Team 17 Collection 1, the Amiga memories came flooding back. I can't go back to controller now, a mouse is the superior way. Future Wars and Operation Stealth from the Delphin Software Collection. I had to turn the mouse speed down, one as the movement was pretty fast, and both games definitely felt the smoothest of the games to play, I think. But I have learned one sad fact. Sadly, even with the mouse pointer, I still can't get past that bloody passcode entry on the Future Wars game. I'm just not fast enough, even with the mouse. But you should only have to examine and select operate the first time, not for each button press. Thankfully, Operation doesn't have anything as evil as the passcode incident. There are weird action type moments, but there are no issues there. Again, menu selection interaction is nice and quick and smooth, and the game feels all the better for using a mouse. Next was C, the Bitman Brothers Collection 2 game. I only had a reasonably quick go on this one, just to see how it felt. The mouse pointer moves smoothly on the menu screen. It's a tiny bit jerky when playing in the main game, but it works pretty well. Now we go on to the weirder stuff, Night Driver on the Atari Collection 1, and no matter how long I tried with that game, I just couldn't get the hang of it all. I didn't know where I was with the game, I had no idea if I was doing it correctly or not. It was really hard to have a point of reference, I felt. No doubt when I go back and try, very slowly to begin with, I don't know, I might get better. It was just a bit of a disaster for me, that one. Steeplechase on the Atari Collection 1, and that worked lovely. Nice and simple and easy to move the jump height up and down using the mouse as you go. Then all you've got to do is time your jumps with the relevance to the height and the speed. Demons to Diamonds on the Atari Collection 2 worked better than I thought it would. It's actually quite smooth in the left and right movements. Holding down the left button feels good, and you can get the hang of moving about at speed. And I'm actually better at grabbing the diamonds now, I kid you not. It feels like it sticks to the edges a bit. Though I wouldn't say it was the definitive way to play it, you can have quite a laugh with it. And finally, Street Racer on the Atari Collection 2. I weirdly kind of dug it. I can't lie, the war mode was still my favourite though. Made it feel even more silly than it already was, if that makes sense. And yeah, I kind of dug it. It was an awesome and novel way to play it. Right, back to the latest firmware information, and there's free player support for the alpha. Joining the games with existing free player support on the alpha are Warlords from Atari Arcade 1, Super Homebrew War from Indie Heroes Collection 1, Chibi Monster Brawl from Indie Heroes Collection 3, Justice Duel from Mega Cat Studios Collection 1, Micro Mages and Micro Mages Second Quest from Morph Cat Games Collection 1, Snow Bros 2 from Toplan Arcade 4, Double Dragon 3 from Technos Arcade 1, Super Skid Marks from Codemasters Collection 1, Tanks Fury from Home Computer Heroes Collection 1, and Street Racer on Pico Interactive Collection 4. And finally, for Evercade VS owners, you can now play Street Racer from Pico Interactive 4 up to 4 players, which is cool, isn't it? Now, additional new features, they've also improved game descriptions for earlier titles, so everything now is in line. You can also now do a partial reset. You'll perform a factory reset on your device, but you'll keep all your hidden games or your saves for built-in games and the cartridges you've marked as owned in the library. That's definitely a handy option if you ever have to do a factory reset, but hopefully you won't have to, but you know how these things can happen. They've added the option for localized Japanese text to the Evercade menu for Japanese fans. Anything that makes it more accessible to more people is an awesome thing. And they've ensured sound quality and Turbo 5 functionality is consistent on 8-bit console titles, correcting control descriptions on a couple of games and fixing a few outstanding issues with individual titles. Phew. And finally we're there. My final thoughts, that's quite hefty and definitely befitting of the 5th anniversary. I wonder if they could use the newsletter codes in future for more than just games, like themes and bezels would be nice. We could have got a cool 5th anniversary theme as an unlock, that would have been awesome. Overall they added quite a lot, not 1 but 2 free games. More mouse support is always better, I love it. And because how painful my right shoulder and arm is, it's kind of been a joy just using the mouse mostly today. I'm left-handed. Old startup screen is cool to celebrate the 5th, or if you just prefer it, but my favourite thing of the lot is we can change the colour of the light bar. I freaking love it. So what did you think of the firmware? What was your favourite feature and why was it the light bar? What colour is your light bar now? Did you try the free game? Have you unlocked the second free game? Any hints? Only hints though, I don't want to be told. So many questions, but what are the answers? As always, let me know in the comments below. And if you made it here to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you'd like. But even if not, I'm still chuffed you poked your head in for a goosey gander. As always, I hope you're having an awesome day, my friends. And until next time, be seeing you.